Now let's talk about the thing that really pissed a lot of people off this weekend. The performance of the Sharks at the Shark Tank. The Sharks lost 26 points to 34. And it's just like, what are they doing? Look, everyone is blaming the same person, which is a problem. John Plumtree this, John Plumtree that. It's not John Plumtree's fault. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the recap. This is the first episode. This is my second attempt at trying to record this episode. Today we're going to be talking about the URC Round 3 action. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what else you want me to comment on or talk about when it's sports related. So this weekend we're going to talk about Round 3 of the URC. And I made a few notes here. I just want to check them out and let you know. So the first match on round 4 was Connaght versus the Bulls. The Bulls beat Connacht by a point in a game where I think the referee was trying to give Connacht the game. The last two kicks, particularly when he let them re-kick twice, I thought was absolutely appalling. And at the same time, they missed. And then they were like, let's go restart again. I'm like, bro, what game are you watching? The time was already up on the clock. That's what I thought. But looking back on the game, I think the Bulls were trying to throw it away because they had Connacht good, but then they just stayed in the fight, I don't think Connacht wanted to win that game as badly as they did, because they also lost a man. So at some point there were 14 men down, and the Bulls still could not capitalize on that. So if they wanted to win that game, they would have. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. And the early kickoff, the Lions beat the Scarlets 29 points to 18. Now, this is a result that kind of surprised me, considering that the Lions haven't really been booming with form lately. In fact, I'll go as far as to say that I feel bad for the Lions. They play week in, week out in front of 4 people. Every single Saturday, people show up to the match. You can hear the echoes. It's just empty seats. I don't know what the URC is doing in terms of ticket sales in Johannesburg, but it's not working. It's not working. You could hear echoes during the game. Someone kicks the ball. You can hear it echo through the whole stadium. No one came to see the Lions. There was maybe one drunk family, and the uncle was yelling louder than everyone else. You could hear him literally go, "Let's go, boys!" That's a bad sign. When you can hear the one person in the stadium talking, it's a bad sign. I don't know what's going on in the Lions, but they surprised me. They came back with 2 quick tries right at the end to steal it. Because I thought, personally, Scarlets, I thought they were going to beat them, because me personally, I believe that the referees in the URC are just not up to code. Some of the calls are kind of if, but, and soft. And it's like the game doesn't flow. Part of the reason why the URC isn't doing that good, I think, as compared to Super Rugby, is because the game is so slow. The refs interject with everything. Like every 2 minutes, you can hear a referee just whispering, minus, check the TMO. And then, again. For what? The player number 8 slapped number 2. It's like a slap. And they're giving red cards, yellow cards, willy-nilly. It's not a better product. And until maybe they fix that and they try to speed up the game the way it's supposed to be played, they're going to continue to fail to sell in Johannesburg. That's a thing that the Lions need to consider. The Lions need to consider moving to a venue where they can... Honestly, I would rather play my games at Grey High School, Hilton College, anywhere else but Ellis Park. Because it's empty. Maybe the ticket prices are too expensive. I don't know what the problem is. But all I know is the Lions, even when they're playing at home, it's like they're away. Because there's more Scarlet supporters or more Ulster supporters. Maybe the problem is the time. How can you put a game on a Saturday, like we'll play it at 1 p.m. when everyone's recovering from the hangover last night? No one's going to come to the stadium. People come to the stadium, they show up. You know, you always have a hat on because it's beaming hot. And you're not even all the way sober. You get your first drink in time to watch the Lions miss a conversion. The Lions did play well, though. They played absolutely amazing, and it gives me hope for them because they were looking shaky right there at the beginning of the season. Now let's talk about the thing that really pissed a lot of people off this weekend. The performance of the Sharks at the Shark Tank. The Sharks lost 26 points to 34. And it's just like, what are they doing? Look, everyone is blaming the same person, which is a problem. John Plumtree this, John Plumtree that. It's not John Plumtree's fault. Or at least not entirely. You can place some blame on him, but the way people are just like it's only him. No. The Sharks don't have any real continuity. If anyone really actually watches the Sharks games, you'll notice that every single weekend, they have a new 12-13 combination. Before then, they always have a new fly-half. They have a new 14. They have a new water boy. They don't even have consistency on the water boys. What? None of that. They don't have a loose trio that's set in stone. They don't have a front three that makes any real sense because Ox then comes back. Koch starts sometimes, doesn't start, and it's like confused. It's all over the place in the Sharks. They need to pick a 15 and they need to stick with it, regardless of how many Springboks come back into the team. Because to be honest, it's not gelling. It's not gelling. International duty calls. Those guys have to go. Who's left? I think a lot of people are going to be like, no, they should be able... No, you can't gel, bro. If you watch the Sharks, they scored 26 points this weekend. That's in any other game that could win you. In the URC, in any other game that could win you the match. But it was 26 points acquired individually. The Sharks have a tendency of playing individually. Every single time you see the Sharks, it's always one guy doing this. They do 2 steps, they beat one guy, they bump off another guy, and then offload comes, they just throw it on the ground. It's like that entire mentality to be like, no, it's not the team first, it's me first. Let me show you why I should be starting. That's the problem that they have in the Sharks. Everyone just thinks I'ma do it myself. What? Whilst everyone else, all you have to do to beat the Sharks is to play as a team. It doesn't even take much. Under 16s from Bristol Town could beat the Sharks at this point. Obviously, that's vented frustrations and those are lies. But still, you get the point. What I'm trying to say is that they are playing as individuals. That's the biggest problem in the Sharks. It's not just John Plumtree. John Plumtree is messing things up, but it's not only his fault. People are acting like, oh, he's the only guy. No. And then we go to the other featured match with the South African team. The Stormers absolutely cracked the Zebra open in a game where I learned absolutely nothing. Nothing's changed from last week. I still think Sasha is one of the best. The only new thing that I learned was that apparently URC commentators hate the Vuvuzela. Since when? Oh, it's too loud. I thought they banned it after the World Cup. Banned? What? Bro. This guy wants the Vuvuzela gone, and it's like sometimes when the commentary in the URC is also another problem with the product in general. It's not that I'm criticizing, because I love rugby. It doesn't matter what's going on, honestly. I would just still watch the same thing. But like, my problem is it could be better. Like every time I watch a rugby game, you can tell who the commentators are supporting. You can tell what underwear of the team they're wearing. And this guy, unfortunately, was wearing Harlequin's underwear, because the way he was talking about the Vuvuzela, I thought they had banned it. It's a disgrace to the game. It's like, bro, what? Who are you? He really hated the Vuvuzela. And, another thing that I maybe will comment on, or I should talk about, is Sasha Feinberg Ngomezulu's performance. I mean, the kid is spectacular, but I will say this, and this is just something that I hate about the Sasha conversation. It's either you love Sasha or you don't love Sasha. There's no in between. What? It's either, this is the man, I'm gonna... Sasha! Oh, no. Fuck that guy. There's no in between. I saw Sasha playing this weekend, and I noticed Sasha makes a lot of errors. But the weird thing about when he does make those errors is that they end up being good errors. His game makes no sense. Sasha plays rugby like... Imagine if you were playing rugby 08 and you wanted to score with your favorite player the whole time. That was your only attempt. I'm gonna try and score with my favorite player. It doesn't matter how many players I have to beat. It doesn't matter if I have to run around the whole defense. Get that man the ball. That's how he plays rugby. It's great, but it's also scary. Because at the same time, you get to watch that and go. And there was a time when I think he got the ball. It's not like he's selfish or anything. He just plays rugby like he's in a video game. Which obviously is giving a lot of people problems. But more specifically, it makes me bite my nails harder. Because every time I watch Sasha, I feel like he's one pass away from throwing an intercept. And that's it, But his pinpoint, he just gets it right. I'll give you an example of a Sasha era. During the first half, or it might have been the first or second half, at some point he drop kicks from his own half. He drop kicks and he misses, and the drop kick was so bad to the point where I was like, this reminds me of when I was playing rugby. Next to guys that were never gonna make it. And I saw that, and my first thought was, what is he doing? And then 2 minutes later, I think they got a 22 dropout from that as a result. And then they kicked it straight to Sasha. And then this time he drops a bomb instead. Or maybe he, like 2 or 4 phases later, he just drops a bomb right in the air. And the guy from Zebre, number 15, tries to jump up and get the ball, drops it, boom, forward ball for DHL Stormers. Just like that. It's almost like you've forgotten what he did 2 minutes ago. And I get it. You can't play rugby errorless, but when Sasha makes errors, it's like an error where you're like, what the hell? you know? But he's playing rugby so freely, and I guess that's probably why people love seeing him play. And I obviously understand that's why the Dan Carter comparisons have become a thing. But they should stop. Do not compare Sasha with Dan Carter. It's to your own detriment. It's to his detriment, to be honest. Because if you keep doing that, he's just gonna start feeling all types of pressure. And oh my god. The day he lets you down, you guys are gonna be on him. And that's a problem. That's one thing that I've noticed about like South African rugby supporters. Toxic. Very toxic. I mean, the fans are great, but they're toxic. And they know they're toxic because when they make fun of someone, they will make fun of you to the point where you quit rugby. Elton Yankees damn near went insane dealing with the pressure of playing for the Springboks. Damn near went insane. And no one's asked about him, no one's talked about him. It's weird. Mani, same thing. I mean, Mani misses a kick. Oh! Come on, guys. I think we need to do better as fans. Although that's kind of what makes rugby exciting. Even the comments are just as funny as the criticisms are hilarious. They're hilarious. But I think something has to be said about that. Otherwise, the Stormers played very well. They shut down the Zebre. They didn't get any forward ball. They didn't get any momentum in this game. They didn't even look remotely close to winning it. Even though, I think at halftime the score was 7 points to 5. It still looked like the Stormers were just going to shut that down. My other criticisms about URC, they need to change the highlights package because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Have you seen the highlights package for URC? 3 or 4 minutes. That's all. That's what they think rugby fans deserve. 3 or 4 minutes of highlights. They don't show any of the big hits. They don't show any of the side steps. They don't show any of the... They don't tell us a complete story of the game. Because when you make a 3-minute highlight video and say the game that you want to show highlights for was Edinburgh's destruction of Benetton, 43 points to 0, by the way. And that's your highlights package. You're just trying to put that stuff together. You want to tell a story. You can't tell a story. 43 points to 0. It looks like Benetton didn't even show up. That's what people are going to assume. Because for 3 minutes, you're just going to see Edinburgh finishes. Not even the start of the play. Not even the how did the ball begin? Nothing. Just 43 finishes from Edinburgh. That's the story of the game. And then you go and you look at the stats. You look at possession 50-50. And you're just like, what happened? They need to work. I think they need to change the highlights package. They need to make it better. And they need to act like rugby fans exist. Because right now, they're not doing a good job promoting the sport of rugby. Best sport on planet Earth, I think. Just needs better handlers. Other results include the Dragons losing to Cardiff 24 points to 17 in a game which, you know, looks close on paper, but you can't tell over the highlights. And Edinburgh destroying Benetton, like I mentioned earlier, and Leinster lost to Munster. I don't know what's going on with Leinster, but at least Irish fans are not like Pendergrass has to be benched immediately. But you know for a fact that if Pendergrass was South African, cooked. 31 points to 14. I mean, Leinster just need to do better. The season is not looking good for Leinster. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'll do an analysis of Leinster. Maybe watch their game this weekend. Try to see. Look, I'm at the end of the day, I'm a pub coach. So what I say doesn't really matter. This video is probably going to get no views. But if the coach is watching, do better, my boy. Ospreys lost 42 points to 17. And, sometimes I always watch the URC and I'm like, some teams should not be in the URC. But I digress. Rest in peace to the cheaters. Let's take a look at the log real quick. DHL Stormers top the log. That's my team. Very, very well done. They've played 4. They've won 4. They've drawn nothing. They've lost nothing. And they've only conceded 23 points. That is amazing defense. John Dobson has been... I don't think John Dobson gets enough credit. Especially because he's the opposite of John Plumtree. As many Springboks as the Stormers have, they never struggle to integrate and unintegrate them every time the season comes along. Yes, they struggle in pockets in the middle of the season, but they're always able to claim it back, get into the top 8, get into some sort of playoff situation. And although they haven't been doing so well recently, the last 2 tournaments, I believe they must have played away from home and they just got booted out early, but they're always in the mix. Can't say the same for the Sharks. Munster is 2nd. Glasgow Warriors are 3rd. Cardiff is 4th. Ulster 5th. Vodacom Bulls are 6th. Benetton 7th. Unprecedented, considering they got hammered by Edinburgh, who are 9th, and Zebra 8th. You can tell it's still early in the season, because Leinster is number 12. The Lions are 11th. But the Sharks are 14th. And, conversations just have to be had. You can tell that the Sharks don't want to defend. 117 points is the Sharks have conceded more points than Ulster have scored. It's embarrassing. They've only scored 67 points, which, is, by the way, is still not so bad. They have the minus 50 points differential. And then you have 15 for the Dragons, and Scarlets are 16th to just round up the top 16th. Now, I just think that this next round is gonna be interesting. Maybe let's check out the games that are coming in round 5. Glasgow Bulls to kick us off, and that's gonna be a very interesting one. The late Friday kickoff. Then you have the Lions play Ulster at around, and again, this 1:45 kickoff. Just come on, Ellis Park. The Sharks are at home to Scarlets at 4. Leinster play Zebra at home. Benetton play the Stormers at home, in a game which I expect Stormers to win, but we don't know. Sometimes they switch off. But the good thing about the Stormers is they've always been good at winning the games they should. Play Munster away, alright, maybe we won't win that one. Play Leinster away, alright, maybe a little bridge too far. But play Benetton at home. You have to cook them, and you have to cook them well. Can't just let Benetton run with like a point from home. They should get no points. They should get a minus differential. They should leave your home thinking, why did we even go there? Cancel the next South African tour. But you can't do that because it's URC. Dragons play Ospreys at home. Munster will play Connacht. And Cardiff will play Edinburgh. Kickoff is at 8:45. So, those are your matches. That is your recap. I did want to, show you a few things. One of my favorite things about rugby is reading the comment section after a game on any given on any given weekend. And you know, because this is the game that drew the most interest, this has to be the comment section that I check out. Take a look at the comment section from the Hollywood Bets Sharks versus Ulster. Against 17 Springboks. Well done, Ulster. By the way, a performance that needs to be lauded. Werner Koch played amazing. He made 14 tackles, which is what like forwards aspire to. He had so many carries, scored a try. He came back to the Shark tank almost like a ghost. Like an unpaid ghost. He just wanted to haunt the Sharks to show them, they didn't value him enough when he was there. Perhaps because they had all the Springboks, and when they come back, oh look, they start. There's an Edinburgh Flan, shocking from the Sharks, time for change. Esther Hazen is a tank. The Ulster number 16 flew like a butterfly. But again, that's just one. This is from Spinacom. Spinacopman. This is the funniest comment from the week. Plumtree is an undercover New Zealand agent sent to destroy our rugby, and so far he's doing a pretty good job. I never thought I would agree with that, but yep. Fire Plumtree. Ulster's quality on paper finally showing on the pitch. Exciting. As a Kiwi, Plumtree was a trash coach here. Honestly, Sharks fans deserve way better. I don't know who he knows over there that keeps him employed, but it must be someone high up. Oh my god. Someone said, Shell Sea Sardines. I mean, Shell Sea Sharks kept coming back at us, but well done to the lads. Wins in South Africa are hard. Yes. I'm glad someone is acknowledging that. I don't know, man. Terrible. I will be more selective next week with my comments, by the way. But that's it for your roundup, guys. That's it for your recap. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Because I'm gonna be starting to react to some round 16 highlights and just sports highlights in general. Get my two sports, because I do understand that. I think for me rugby is the greatest sport on the planet, but it's up to us as the fans to try and garner the type of interest that will make it a spectacle. The spectacle it deserves to be, quite frankly. And as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and check out my other videos on this channel. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.